matter where you work, you are that individual who is going to be remembered if your brand is what we think the brand needs to be. And so what I want to share with you a little bit is this concept of personal branding, just from one person's perspective, what you can do to figure out is yours what it wants to be, or can you tweak it a little bit, or if it's good, how do you leverage that part that's good? I know some of the stuff we talked about earlier on was on NIL. NIL is this new thing that the athletes get. Athletes can sign an agreement, and a company will hire them, give them some money as athletes in college, and that's nice. I think it's wonderful, long overdue. But hopefully what the company's going to get, they're going to get an athlete, an individual who has a personal brand that's going to be beneficial to the company. I get the money exchange or the in-kind exchange. That's important. It's critical. But I think even more critical than that is that hopefully the company in exchange for what they're giving the athlete can give the company something back. And it's going to be something back in terms of, I believe, how their brand is seen and how it's going to relate to that company and make that company valuable or more valuable. But let me ask you this question. This is what I want to talk about today, is the concept of personal branding. I think that one thing that personal branding is about, it's about this concept called likability. Let me tell you what likability is not. It's not the like button on your telephone. That's the cutest thing in the world. You made Zuckerberg a billionaire. That's wonderful. Go Tigers. That's not likability. Likability came before Zuckerberg was born. Likability came before the World Wide Web was ever invented. Likability is an old marketing communication term. You've probably heard it somewhere before. Likability is this. It's the emotional impact you have on somebody. The ability for somebody to want to be able to walk in the room, sit down, talk to you, maybe have a difficult conversation, maybe do business with you, maybe switch from one company to the next company. Likability is the emotional impact you have on somebody. Who is that somebody? I have no clue. It could be an employee, it could be a colleague, it could be a future customer, it could be somebody at home. That person, the emotional impact you want to have on that person. Everybody gets this likability thing confused with smiling all the time and being cuddly and charming, which is wonderful. It's wonderful. But sometimes things get a little serious. So you can be intense. We teach negotiation. You can be in intense negotiation, but be likable. The emotional impact you have on somebody. So it's not just smiling. It has nothing to do with smiling all day long, but it also has something to do with being approachable, so people can at least have that difficult conversation and they can choose to talk to you, unfortunately, maybe not somebody else. So the question I think I like to talk about is, what makes you likable? So this is just a little bit of academic stuff for you, to bore you with a little academic stuff. This is from the classic study that was done that so many companies use, and you got to use it because I haven't seen anything better. 38% of the emotional impact you have. 38%. Now, first of all, is 38% a significant number? I don't know, go back to your college or high school days, miss 38 on an exam, what do you get? Well, you get a B if you're in my class because we curve. Anyway, because we curve. Hold on, everybody curves. Don't say you don't. You curve somehow. And college is about curve. And bigger the curve, 38%. But once you leave college, they curve? Do your clients curve? It's a fastball aimed at the temple. You swing or you duck or you get hit. So my point is 38% is a significant number. That's my whole point. So what do you think 38% of the emotional impact is judged according to? Take a guess. Take a proper guess. Take a right guess. No. I love it. Love this guy. Knew him years ago. Still know him. No. It's a good answer, but not for this 38%. Aha. So don't leave saying appearance is important. Appearance is important, but not for this 38%. So in an academically loving way, no. Okay. Anybody else for a good answer? There it is. I know he has. Hold on. He looks like he has it. Absolutely, not only one wrong answer, but two. Congratulations. So you outdid my friend. Hold on. Trust is critical, and yes, credibility is why they listen to you. Love it, but not for this, what makes you likable. In other words, likable enough to go in and have the relationship where the trust and credibility can lead to something good. Love the answer, but not for this 38%. So if it's not trust, it's not credibility for this answer. If it's not appearance for this answer, what in the world could it be that makes you likable? I love it, but this is loser's row right here. 1, 2, 3, it's like tic-tac-toe. No. I love personality. The answer is yes, but what can make your personality likable? We're so close, but nobody knows. There's one more wrong answer, and I'll tell you the right answer because my time will be up, my car will be towed from the police people, and you'll not even have the right answer.
So somebody I don't know, their posture?
No. It's good, but no, there's something you can do or not do that can make people like you or not like you. I love it. Say it again. When you have the worst, wrongest answer, that's what it sounds like. No. No, I love it, but I don't love it. I love it, but it's the worst, no, an academic, worst answer in the world. And let me tell you why. Hold on. Because eye contact will get you in trouble. I love it later. No, I don't even love it. It's a good answer, but we'll talk about it at the very, very end, because this is the difference maker, but not in this case. Why do you say eye contact? Here's why I say no to eye contact. Here's why I say this. It's the most dangerous answer in the world. What do you want with eye contact? Why do we have eye contact? To look at people, to engage with people. Okay, I got it. Make it feel. But what do you look for when you have eye contact? What do you hope when you see with eye contact? Right? Yeah. The person who looks like they're absorbed in what you're saying. The person who has that engaging look. And what if they don't? Here's the answer. Sometimes, if they don't, this is why eye contact it's important, but it's dangerous. The answer to 38% is vocal delivery. And there's only one aspect of vocal delivery, in my opinion, and that's tone of voice. Tone of voice can build trust. Tone of voice can do everything you say. Tone of voice can make your personality worse than it is. Tone of voice, and nobody pays attention to it. I can spend an hour, I can spend 3 hours, I can spend a day, and I can see you tomorrow, and nobody will remember tone of voice. If we had the same class tomorrow, I'd ask you what 38% of the emotional impact is, and nobody would know. Nobody pays attention to it. But I got to at least spend 7 minutes and 12 seconds to tell you that tone of voice matters. You'll offend somebody, somebody will hate you, somebody will be turned off by you, somebody will be alienated from you, somebody will be offended by you simply by your tone of voice. I don't think it's the message all the time. The message maybe I disagree, but the tone of voice I think just kills likability. Tell somebody the what. Forgive me since I know it. What? Tell somebody no. And in your world, you got to say no. I'm all about no. But there's 7 ways to say no, and 6 of them they'll hate you forever. But you got to say no. What? Come on, please. Are you kidding me? I'll never. Those are the little phrases. And lately I've been on this roll being insulted by hearing people who have insulted and have lost deals because the tone of voice is just so cold. You got to be serious. I get the serious piece. You got to say no. I got all that. But tone of voice will destroy the brand. Here's the thing, you'll never know it. And there are 3 killers. There are 3 barriers to tone of voice. I'll give them to you real quickly. Number 1 is boring. Boring is because all of y'all in here are professionals. You're experts at something. Y'all do something and you do it very, very well. And there's the problem. You do it all the time, and sometimes it becomes mundane, it becomes old, and it just loses its impact. So don't be boring. I want just a quick history about my boring life. I started out at LSU many years ago, pre-med. Pre-med. I was going to be a doctor, and I'd have been a good one. But I dropped out of pre-med 3 days into my freshman year. 3 days, I've said, I'm out. The books are big, the walk is hard, the people look smart. I can't do it. But had I stayed, I'd have been a good doctor, and I had been able to pass the course. My friends, other than medical knowledge, what's the number 1 skill that every good doctor has? Bedside manners. That's it. Everybody knows that. And his bedside manners is not reserved just for doctors. It's a term. It's for everybody's customer service, I think y'all call it. It's bedside. I now work, just this on the side, accidentally. I help doctors who are getting ready to get dismissed by their hospitals or clinics because they're saving people's lives. They're doing surgeries that are unbelievable. They're making people who are really sick well, but yet they're not making the person feel special or the family, and they get cut up. You realize that doctors get evaluated? Doctors get evaluated like you evaluate a sandwich shop or a restaurant or a hotel. And then So the whole idea about bedside manner, I'd have been good as a doctor. Because I'd have made you feel like I really care. And I do, but I'd make sure the tone of voice in the afternoon, I'd have been in internal medicine, by the way. No blood, no guts, just take a temperature, give them a pill, and charge them $150. I love it. I'd been good. But I've been so good, I'd have the average good internal medicine doctor sees 48 patients a day. I'm seeing you at 3:30. You're patient number 37. And I'm going to make you feel like it's 8 o'clock in the morning and you're the first person I saw. We don't mean to be boring. You're all competent. You're smart. You're champions at what you do, but you got somebody else who is. But even though you're good at what you do, you got to make it sound engaging. Not rah-rah, not cheerleader, but it can't be boring. Number 2, this is a big one. This is a big one. And over time, it's getting bigger and bigger, whining. You know who they are. Somebody told me I do. I'm like, I don't. They insulted me, but that's okay. That's not okay. I didn't know I won. You whine, I'm telling you, you'll wear people out. You'll wear them out. The beautiful thing about whining, the beautiful thing about boring is you can hear it. So if you whine, don't whine. I promise you, this lady told me that. My former friend told me I whined one time. No, former friend. And it hurt my feelings. Okay, I'm sensitive. I'm frail. And I said to myself, I spoke to myself, I said, I don't whine. And next thing you know, I whine. But here's it. Next thing I know, I'm helping people. Hold on. I'm helping people whose brains aren't good. I can't quite figure out why. I'm now hearing them. You say it. Whine. As smart as they are, they whine. The last one is this one. They may tell you you're boring. They may tell you you whine. Nobody yet, if I find out, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm wrong 72.5% of the time. The third barrier is arrogance. Has anybody ever told you you're arrogant? No. They'll make up an excuse. They'll say you don't speak well. They'll say you don't do this well. When in fact, there's an arrogance factor. I don't know what arrogance is. Everybody says, you do arrogance all the time. What is arrogance? And my answer is, I don't know. I don't know what arrogance is, but I know it when I hear it. I think arrogance, if there's an answer, arrogance is we try so hard to be perfect. I think arrogance is we want to be perfect. And we want that person with our eye contact while we're talking to do what? Uh-huh. And they don't do uh-huh, even though internally they're going uh-huh. And so we push harder and we push harder. And we hate to say maybe we don't really know it. I'm here to say you got to know your whatever you do for a business, you know, your new way. You got to know the core of what you do. But sometimes there's a question you can get asked and you don't know the answer. And I'm here to tell you, and I'll build credibility based on one of the number one articles at Stanford University, one of the popular articles on the persuasiveness of saying, I don't know. At Stanford, that's one of the big articles right now that people are loving. Well done, scholarly work. The persuasiveness of saying and the credibility enhancement of saying, I don't know. Not what's your budget? I don't know. It's not a dumb, I don't know. It's just like, you know something? I don't have a good answer. Everybody asked me about NIL, this thing y'all came in for. And I'm like, so tell me, what's a few? I said, I don't really know. I don't. I know what it is. I don't think anybody has NIL figured out. The door's wide open. It's wonderful. It's great. I don't have the answer where it's going to be in 5 years. I really don't know. I have an idea. So it's the idea, I don't know. Anyway, the point is, this takes a little bit of the edge off of arrogance. I love Shaquille O'Neal for a variety of reasons. Just he's a nice guy. This is the main reason. But he's got this little side to him that takes, he's not ever arrogant, but he's got this little side of, we call it brand imperfection, where he's like, he has these expressions that are just magnificent and they're charming and you can't help but like him. And I'm not saying you buy every product he endorses, but a little bit of imperfection, I don't know, sometimes takes the edge off of arrogance. I also believe this, if I go a little deeper into arrogance, I believe that everybody in here don't know who you are, what you do, and all that stuff. No disrespect to anybody. But I bet every single person, no, I know, because you're human. Every single person in here, given a certain situation, may at one point in time in their life be nervous. It happens. Name me any individual in the world, and I can prove to you that individual, as popular, as powerful, as rich as they are nervous in a situation. That does not exempt you from being good at all. But here's the problem. Whenever you're excuse me, if you're ever presenting sometimes and you lose your voice and you can't catch your breath because you're scared to death, everybody, that's when the light goes on that you're nervous, and everybody thinks because the light goes on you're nervous, you got to bow up. And so, but we bow up to kind of hide the nervousness, and I think in trying to hide the nervousness we come across as arrogant. I'm not saying sit there and rattle. That's not good. But I'm saying a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of a shaky voice, a little bit of embrace it. Embrace it. I'll show you the trick to nervousness in just a little bit. And then work through it. I think it's engaging. I think it's endearing to an audience. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Okay, that's not why I'm here. This is the money maker. This, I keep going to this. The name is great. I didn't think of the name. I just like it. What leads you to a deal or no deal, what leads you to being hired or not hired by a company, what leads your brand to being better or not better is this one right here. This is a quadruple your money back guarantee, that if you do this, everything you do gets a little bit more better. 55%, now miss 55% on the exam, what do you get? Yeah, even in my class with Curb, we give you a D. Because we're done with you. We want to get you, we'll see you later. 55 and you're shutting down the business. 55 and you're not shutting down the business. Things aren't good. I'll help you. You really weren't that good on the vocal one. I'll help you on this one. 55% of the emotional impact you have is visual. Now, this is just me, and I'm not being arrogant. This is just my opinion based on what I do, based on what I've seen, and it's one person and one person only. But I think it matters a little bit. In my opinion, there's one key part of visual delivery, enough to give you a quadruple your money back guarantee. So what do you think the number one most critical element of visual delivery is that can make your brand or the people you work with's brand better? Better for you and better for your company. It's visual. So what do you think it is? Well, that's okay. I hope you do. Close. That's close. Close. I'll give you partial credit, and we'll cut the losses there. It's not eye contact. I like it, but it's not eye contact. It's personality. I like it, or dress, whatever you called it. I like all your things, but she hit it just right. It's facial expression. She said the RGT thing. That's one of them. That whatever, RB, whoever. Okay, that's one. That would be called negative and angry and pouty. You got also arrogant. You got cocky. You got warm and engaging, which I'd have been as a doctor, of course, but I never made it past 3 days. But anyway, so RGT is one, engaging is one, likable is one, cocky is one. You get it? Facial expression, we call it your default look. Your default look is, I believe, what draws people to you. I've been speaking now for 27 and a half minutes. I've already evaluated your default look. Because when you're sitting, my dear friends, that is a presentation. When you're in a room listening, that is a presentation. When the customer, the client is watching you, or you don't even know they're watching you, that is a presentation. I'm here to suggest to you that you got to figure out what your default look is. And I'm using the S word one more time. It's not a smile. You can't walk around all day long like this because you'll be weird. You can't do that. But you can't be me. I'm Tommy Karam. You can't be me. Don't be me. I'm telling you right now, do not be me. Me being me means you're going to not be really well received. Being me means you're going to not know that what's missing, you're missing in your career is the fact that people are afraid of you. Yes, me, little bitty, wimpy little me. 24 years I was employed at LSU, still am, but for my first 24 years at LSU, 24 years at LSU. Did good work. Everything was good, but always just a little short on everything. Got good information? Who doesn't? Got great ideas? Who doesn't? Was able to do some stuff, but not quite what I wanted to do. Couldn't figure out why. Why? Couldn't figure it all out. Just got that close. The credibility piece was missing, by the way. Trust wasn't, credibility was. Couldn't figure out why. Do this all the time. I help people get good. I can't do it myself. LSU wins the national championship in 2007. I learned media training, helped my little friend, the little skinny 7-foot, 300-pound guy. I learned that that's important. People like it. And so they asked me to do it just as a hobby. I do it to help the team out. I do media training. So after the national championship year, in 2007, 24 years into a wonderful job at LSU, I get a phone call. They said, we got a guy who just won the national championship. All the big companies are coming to LSU. Our football coach is a good interviewer. Our quarterback's a great interviewer. But our defensive lineman nobody's ever heard of, he needs help. His name is Ricky-Jean Francois. Ricky-Jean Francois didn't play the whole year. Ricky-Jean Francois was a dominant force during the national championship game. And so all the big networks are coming to LSU. They're going to interview the players, and they're going to interview Ricky-Jean Francois. LSU wants him to get some help. Why? They care about him? I like that. Kinda. But they care about what more? The LSU brand. Hold on, it ain't LSU. The Saints like Drew Brees? Yeah. They want him to interview well because they like Drew? No, yeah, but he's also an extension of the New Orleans Saints brand. Your companies probably do media training for you also. When you go out and you're being interviewed, you are an extension of your company or your company's brand. Just good business. They wanted Ricky-Jean Francois to be good so the LSU brand can continue to be seen in a nice, likable way. I said, I'd love to work with the guy. Love it. I wait around. That was a Monday. They're coming the following Monday. I got a week to work with this guy. They called me on that Tuesday. I said, fine. I'm not aggressive. I'm not going to go seek anybody out. I just don't do that. I'll wait. If they need help, they'll give me a buzz. No big deal. I just don't want to impose on I don't want anybody. I'll wait around until Friday. No Ricky Jean Francois. Now, as an aside note, the reason that's so important is I've been very fortunate, very blessed. I get to work out in the football facility. I have a little weight room. Have some weights in the back of the room. I do it because I like to work out, and I do it because it helps build trust with the players. They see me, so if they need help, I'm there, whatever. I've never seen this guy in my life. Don't even know who the guy is. So, or else I'd have said, can I help you? If you need help, let me know. So anyway, I go see my friends in football. Excuse me. And so I go see them on Friday. I go, friends in football, just checking the coach wants me to work with this guy. I've never seen the guy in my life. Can you get in touch with him? They said, we did. We got in touch with him. He's going to see you tomorrow, which is Saturday. I'm like, man, it took y'all a while. And I said, no, I know why. I'm talking to my friends. I know why. He's nervous, and he doesn't want to do it. And they said, that's not it. I said, then I know the other answer. I do a lot of this. He's very comfortable, and he doesn't need it. And they looked at me, and they said, that's not it. I'm like, just curious, what took so long? I got one day to help this guy. I'm just curious, what took so long? They tell me, my word of honor, they say this. You know, I told you I'm thin-skinned, I'm frail, I don't take criticism, all that stuff. They turned to me, and they said, here's the deal. You know we like you a lot. Okay, that's the code for you getting ready to give bad information. I'm okay with that. They say, here's the deal. We like you a lot. But he doesn't like you. Did I tell you I've never seen this human being in my life? I've never seen it. They said, he doesn't like you. And when we asked him to work with you, he didn't want to do it. The only reason he didn't work with you is because he's on scholarship and he has to work with you. Like, that's not nice. But it's not his fault. It's my fault. Did I tell you I've never seen this guy in my life? He knows me, and he doesn't like me. Anyway, I said, I got this. I've wrestled guys bigger than him. I can do this. So I'm getting ready to leave, and as I'm leaving, my friends stop me. This is a true story. They stop me, and they go, hold on just a second. I have one more thing. Friday, Saturday, football facility, the door will be open. Going in there, and he'll work with you. We got the thing set up for you. But you need to know this also. I said, there's more? And they go, just something else you might want to know. I'm like, what's that? They go, you know we really like you a lot. I'm like, okay. Oh, yeah, that's what, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I get it. He said, here's the deal. Not only does he not like you, he thinks you are one mean dude. I want you to look at one mean dude. Now, for a moment, I'm like, yeah, but no, you don't want to be that. That's not good. Not in business. So he doesn't like me. I'm one mean. What are my odds of being good the next day? It's not good anyway. It's really bad now. So I leave. I'm just sitting around figuring this all out. Why does the guy not want to do business with me if I was a businessman? I'm just in academics. He thinks somehow, a person I tell you, I've never seen this human being in my life. He not only does not like me, he thinks I'm one mean dude, but he's going to show up because he's on scholarship. Your clients aren't on scholarship. They can go anywhere they want to go. So I get there on Saturday. I'm early. I get there early. I park for free. No meters. I park for free in the building. I'm the only one there. I park my car out of respect perfectly. I get into the lines perfectly, respect. I wait around inside the building. 10 o'clock, sure enough, this car pulls up. He doesn't park, like he just stops. This guy rolls out of the car. This guy who rolls out of the car is 6'3", 298 pounds of muscle wrapped in anger, wrapped in muscle. And he thinks I'm one mean dude. So I see him coming. What do we do to make that good first impression? I kick the door open. I walk up to him. I flash that smile, and I go, Ricky Francois, Tommy Karam, how you doing? Tone of voice, default look, all that stuff. I slap my hand out there. Anyway, why don't you come in? This guy gives me that look. You know that look I give for a defensive lineman hurts a quarterback? He gives me that look like he's going to hurt. Football hurt me, and he won't shake my hand. What am I going to do, pick a fight? Eye contact. It hurts you, but you don't. And I'm like, okay, we're fixing to have this, what we call negotiations. We're fixing to have this difficult conversation. I got to make this work. I got to have the personality. I got to build the trust. I got to do all the things y'all just talked about. So anyway, we walk in. He ain't happy. Remember we said 38% is tone of voice? Let me tell you how that works. We kind of find a room. As we're finding this room, I had this throwaway line. I said, just trying to build this relationship. I said, look, I know you don't want to be here. 2 words. He goes, you're right. Let somebody tell you, you're right. Let somebody tell you, sure. Let somebody tell you, okay, whatever. Now I'm stirred up, but I'm not going to pick a fight because that's not going to do what I need to do. But I am angry. I'm only human, and it does aggravate you a whole lot. We sit down. We sit down. Can you imagine how Ricky Jean Francois sat? Arms crossed, head, and just that miserable look. Okay, the look is bad. I've learned one thing. You can't overreact to this, although it is aggravating. I look at him, and with a tone of voice of care and concern, a little frustration, I asked him this question. I got to ask you this question. Why do you think I'm one mean dude? I thought it was a good question. Not being mean, like, well, just a very compassionate, that's a hard question. Why do you think I'm one mean dude? This guy doesn't flinch. He looks at me and he says, because every time I see you, you look mean. My friends, I'm stunned. I'm confused. I've never seen this guy in my life. But he said it, and he said it like he meant it. And I looked at him. Now I'm serious. I'm confused. I said, I've never met you a day in my life. Where have you ever seen me? He said, I see you at the business school, and you always look mean. I'm like, I know I've never taught you, so where have you seen me? He goes, and he gets angry. I see you in between classes, and you always get mean. I'm like, you don't even go to class. Because you only take so much. You got it. I hit it pretty good. I said, you only take so much. And here's it. He goes, but when I do, it changed everything I do in my life. But when I do, it hit me. I'm like, that was it. That was it. Not being melodramatic. I'm not being melodramatic. I'm just telling you the fact. When he said, but when I do, it hit me. It hit me. I figured it all out. 24 years. Nice career, doing okay stuff, but I'm missing. I'm missing on something. I can't figure out what until this guy said, but when I do, you look mean. Back out just a second, freeze frame for just a second. We teach in the negotiation world, you know this, but you need to know this. It's in the behavioral science world. There's this concept called the thin slice. The thin slice says people can see you in something as quick as 1/24th of a second. People can see you as quick as 1/24th of a second and formulate an opinion of you. Do I want it? Do I trust you? Do I want to do business with you? Do I want to come shake your hand? Do I want to have a conversation with you? Anything, if I may, from 1/24th of a second, here's 1/24th of a second. 1/24th of a second. 1/24th of a second. 1/24th of a second. Anything from 1/24th of a second up to 15 seconds and not hear a word you say, they can formulate an opinion of you. Wow. People watch you. They're not snooping on you. They just watch you. Anything from 1/24th of a second up to 15 seconds, no words exchanged, people can form an opinion. Your brand is either lifted or not. Mine was destroyed, obviously. You want to know what 1/24th of a second is? I'll tell you what it is. I don't know if you keep up with football, but LSU used to have this wonderful guy, wonderful running back named Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette came to LSU, the most decorated running back of our generation. Nice kid, clean-cut kid, great athlete. He was just good until he wasn't. You know what he did wrong? You know what this little guy did wrong to destroy his brand? You ready for this? He scored a touchdown in Tiger Stadium on a Saturday night in front of 103,275 people. But when he did it in September, he posed for the Heisman. And 1/26th of a second, the Leonard Fournette brand went from that person who's wonderful to the brand of arrogant, cocky, and that's with the nice people. The national media tore him up. That's how fast people can see you without you knowing they see you and forming an opinion of you. Ricky G. Francois said, but when I do, and I got it. I saw, this is melodramatic, I promise. I saw 24 years and great ideas. I said, now I got it. Too late. But now I got to help this guy. And I helped him. And a nice little friendship was born and all this kind of stuff. Man, if I'd only known. You see, y'all don't know me. He knows me. And hopefully nobody saw me. You know me. But hopefully nobody else saw me earlier. I figured it all out. It was my default look. My default look for 24 years. My heart was good, as your hearts are good. But this is my default look. If you ever see me again, you probably won't. Nor should you. But if you do, I'll be at the Walmart on College or at LSU. It's the only two places I go. I'm a pretty simple guy. Or I'll be at the police station and get my car out of tow. Other than that, this is my default look of absolute happiness. You want some of this? You've seen me. If you see me like this, this is when I am at my best. I'm happy, I'm peaceful, my heart's aglow, and I can give you all the love and professional help you want. That's pitiful. You want some of this? Nobody ever told me. You know what they always told me? All you wear are khaki pants and white shirts. Okay, I have a fleet of khaki pants and white shirts and red ties. Okay, that's all I got. I go to garage sales. That's all they sell. No, it's not your clothes. Somebody said, grow a mustache, grow a beard. It's not your beard. Somebody told me one time, move to Montana. You know who told me that? Somebody who's in a meeting with me for about 3 years. I was in that meeting probably with a whiny voice and for sure a default look, and it wore everybody out. I didn't know it was an insult for about 6 years, and I figured that was an insult. I'm asking you, here's what I'm here for today. What is your default look? No, it's not a smile, and it's not. And if you don't want it, it's okay. You don't have to do it. I'm not here to make anybody do nothing. But if you want things to be a little bit more better, you got to figure out what your default look is. And you're asking me how. I'm going to tell you how. Let's just pretend this little thing right here. Okay, this is a computer screen. I want y'all to do this tonight. Quadruple, 4 times your money back guarantee. You do this, everything you do gets a little bit more better. Go home tonight. Tell the people at home, I love you, got homework to do. Yeah, I went to the seminar, got homework to do. You walk up to the room that has a mirror. This is the mirror right here. You walk up to the mirror. Don't look yet. Freeze. The default look you've been giving me now for 37.5 minutes. Freeze. That's okay. That's your look. That's how you think. That's fine. Freeze. Turn and look in the mirror. Ooh. If you flinch, you got a problem. It's real simple. I'm telling you right now, I do it a lot. I'm not going to be arrogant and cocky, but I do it a lot. And people who are really, really good see it, and they're like, I might want to tweak it. You turn, you look in the mirror. If it's not what you wanted to do, you don't go back to work tomorrow like that, or you'll be nutty and I'll be crazy. But there's a muscle right here. There's a muscle right here, and you got to tweak that muscle right here. It goes from this miserable Tommy Karam look that you can't be to maybe just a softer, more approachable, engaging look. That's it. You're going to tell me that? That's it. We're not splitting the atom here. I'm just helping you understand how your brand can lead to, if you want to use the title of the day, a deal or no deal. A handshake or no handshake. Business or no business. Be likable or no likable. How about this? A reputation, good or bad? Or whatever you want to call it. Now back to my good friend who had the worst answer of the year. Eye contact. So everybody knows about your default look, right? Everybody understands. It's not, and if you're serious, be serious. But there's an idea of being serious and gloomy. Or angry or whatever it is. I get the serious piece. I'm all for serious. Go Tigers. This is good. But if you get misinterpreted, what good is it? We don't read hearts. This ain't cardiology 101. This is personal branding. We don't read hearts. We see who we see, and we hear what we hear, and we formulate opinions. I want you to go home tonight to figure out what your default look is. And here's why it's important. Because people see you when you know that they're seeing you. And now back to the hardest part of today. The hardest part is this. Everything I just told you is easy. This is hard. What about the people you're talking to? What do you want them to do whenever you want them to do this while they're talking to you? They're not. They're not. They're not. Nor should they. I tell these doctors, these brilliant doctors, you want that person who could be near death. You want that person who's scared to death while they're, you want them to do this while you're talking? No. You want the angry customer who's angry to do this? No. You got a room full of Tommy Karams. They're engaged. That's why eye contact is so important and critical. Don't overreact to the default look of the person across from you. Don't overreact to the default look of the person across from you. Don't overreact to the default look of the person across from you, because my experience has taught me this, and I'm going to leave you with this. The person who looks engaging may be, but probably isn't. Yes, I said that. They may be, but they're probably not. They're polite, and polite is good. But are they paying attention? Are they going to do the deal you want them to do? Is that really? It feels good, and you should always have that default look if you care about the person up there. However, the land of opportunity is the person who looks miserable. My experience has taught me you want that person who looks miserable. I'm not saying they get up and storm out and throw their phone on. I'm just saying they have a default look that's miserable. That person is actually listening. My experience has taught me this when I do presentations. The one who looks engaging, it's nice, it makes you feel good, go Tigers. But the one who looks miserable, they're calling you. The one who looks like they don't care, they're calling you. The one who looks at their watch or their phone or shakes or nods, that's how they pay attention. Should you do it? I would argue no. But as you're presenting at dinner, at a meeting, in a room, wherever you are, people are looking at you all the time. They're judging you. Do I want to do business with you or not? The concept they study at the big schools is warmth versus competency. The big schools. Warmth versus competency. Which one gets you in the door? Which one says, I'll talk to you? Which one says, let's talk about it? It's warmth. Because in your work, everybody, you're competent, your competition is competent. You may be a little bit more than them may be a little bit more than you. Everybody's going to be competent in your world. It's that warmth, which we call likability, gets you at the table so you can then build credibility. You can then show them who your personality is. You can then do what you got to do to be able to create that relationship. And speaking of relationships, sometimes they say no. And I'm here today, as you know, there are more tomorrows than there are yesterdays. They say no today, but they like the brand, they like the message. Maybe another day they think about you, and they say yes. I get that. I don't do sales. I don't know how sales works. But I know this. If they don't like you, they'll go somewhere else. Unless you're the only person in the industry, and nobody is anymore. Even Elon Musk has competition. That's why he's cutting prices on his cars. He's smart. But he now has competition. Everybody eventually going to have competition. The one factor, you can be serious, but you can still be likable, and that's what I want to leave you with for today. Go home today, when this is all over, as you go into wrapping it up, go to the room that has a mirror. Look in the mirror by yourself. Don't ask a loved one because they're going to lie to you. They lied before it. They're going to lie again. They're going to go, it's your hair, it's your clothes. No, it's your default look. Look in the mirror, find out what it is. When it's not good, no disrespect, 79.8 of y'all are going to flinch. And when you do, it's okay. Take that little muscle right here, change it from this to this, and see the difference it makes.